Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 9th EBERSPÄCHER Luge World Cup. The World Cup finals are here in YANQING, and we've just seen an incredible women's singles race with Julia Taubitz flying into the overall title for the 5th time in her career. This is the track we're racing on, Leon.
Yeah, it's an awesome track. It looks awesome. It was built for the 2022 games, and you know, it's a pleasure to come back here. It's an awesome track.
Yeah, I'm joined by Leon Felderer of Team Italy today. Leon, you raced here in the Olympics. This was your first games.
Yeah.
What was that like? Because it was a different games.
Yeah, it was a different games, but you know what? It's my only game, so I don't know much different. So I was just very excited to be part of the race, really.
So this is what the athletes see. Can you talk us down the track?
Yeah. So actually, this is A B corner, and B corner is actually quite a challenge already for the women's start. Going into corner 3, there's not a lot going on. Just trying to build momentum, trying to smooth out the lines. Going into corner 5, this is the next big challenge for the lady start. As you will see, that a lot of people have a lot of height at the end, and then pushes early to curve 6. Then we have this uphill section going into corner 9. Similar corner like curve 5, also a lot of pressure at the end. Going into the long spiral, 360-degree spiral. It's actually one of the nicest Chrysler that you can drive as a luge athlete, because there's not much that you can do wrong here. Going into corner 12, you know, not a lot of pressure, just basically gives you a bit of direction. Then the big corner 13, which is a big challenge again, and onto the Dragon's Tail. And yeah, that's the finish corner, and then...
It's an incredibly dramatic track, isn't it?
It is, yeah, it is. It looks awesome, and you know, if you get it right, it's so much fun. There's not a lot of pressure in the corners, which makes it a bit unique, because you, if you have pressure, then you basically feel where you need to steer. But that's much different here on this track, because you don't feel the pressure, and you don't feel the pressure points where you need to steer the sled.
Well, the ice has definitely got rock hard. It's minus 9.9 degrees, the ice temperature. That is going to make a difference. That's
going to make a big difference, yeah.
Well. That is ice like concrete. If you're not au fait with ice temperatures, the humidity here is also incredibly low. Mm-hmm. We've got 8 women's doubles in this World Cup final. Starting off with Ukraine, Stetskiv and Mokh, moving on to Stramaturaru and Manolescu, Austria, Italy, Latvia, USA, Germany, and China. And it is all to play for. It really is. It's a mathematical shootout between Selina Egle and Lara Kipp of Austria versus Jessica Degenhart and Forgan and Rosenthal of Germany. Now, the advantage is very much with Egle and Kipp, but Degenhart and Rosenthal could still take the overall if they win and Madeleine Egle and Lara Kipp don't complete their 2 runs. And then Siobhan Forgan and Sophia Kirkby of the USA, after their 4th place finish last week in Korea, are guaranteed 3rd place in the World Cup overall. So if you're new to luge, if you've watched a ton of luge in your life, welcome. It's wonderful to have you along on the last race of the season for the women's doubles in the EBERSPÄCHER Luge World Cup. As I said earlier, I'm joined by Leon Felderer, Olympian in 2022, right here in Beijing. Also our current athlete representative for the International Federation. And Leon, this track, coming back here after 3 years, has it changed much?
You know, me personally would say not much. For me, it still feels kind of the same. But a lot of people have problems during this week, a lot of doubles especially. They say it feels much different than it was in the Olympics. Yeah, so it's going to be a very exciting race. Let me just tell you that.
Yeah, it certainly is. If the last race is anything to go by, as we remind you, the women's singles, Julia Taubitz triumphant in that race, but a race packed with drama. As we move to our first athletes of this race from Ukraine. This is Elena Stetskiv and Alexandra Mokh. Now, this track has been something special for the doubles in training, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. A lot of people have problems out of corner 5, out of corner 9, obviously in the Dragon's Tail, and already at the start out of corner B. So we will see how the ladies can handle that today.
That 2-3 transition is fierce, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. If you have a good entrance into B, then it's okay. But you know, once you go in a bit too late, have too much height, then it's no bueno.
So Stetskiv and Mokh get us going in the World Cup final here in Yanqing, China. A little skiddy around the start curve, but no contact. And Stetskiv and Mokh are off to the races now.
Yeah, they did a good job at corner 1-2. Maybe a bit skiddy, but you know, they had no height at the end, which is the good thing. Let's see how they handled corner 5. That was a very good line. That was a very good line.
They're looking quite nice here, aren't they? I mean, in terms of having watched some of the training for the doubles, it's been a tough day at the office every day this week, isn't it?
Well, little problems out of corner 10, which is unusual because they had a good entrance. But yeah, she's looking very relaxed. I think she likes the track here.
Definitely. So Stetskiv and Mokh of the Ukraine coming round 12 into 13, which gave so many of our athletes in singles problems. Let's see how the dragon tail works. Dropping the feet, but not disastrous. Stetskiv Mokh rounding the final curve, crossing the finish line to open the scoring with a track record of 1.03.134. Now, we're going to get a track record here because this is the first time that the women's doubles have raced here. But when you see that yellow track record, so
it's always nice.
You've got to get excited about it, haven't you?
Obviously. Well, she had a few skids done in her run, so she has a little bit more time in the run. But other than that, you know, she must be happy with the run because it looks quite relaxed the way she slides, which is a very good sign. If somebody's relaxed and enjoys sliding here, that's a good sign. I
thought they made a really good job of 2-3 based upon a not perfect exit.
Yeah.
So, Raluca Stramaturaru and Carmen Manolescu of Romania now. Now, Raluca Stramaturaru, an incredible singles athlete in her own right, finished 8th in the Olympics in Korea in Pyeongchang in 2018. Switched to doubles, from singles during this quadrennial, and is taking it perfectly. Hasn't she? She looks like she's having a lot of fun on the slide.
Yeah, definitely. And also here, you know, the lines look very good. Raluca is known for having a bit of a safe position on the sled, so meaning that she has her head a bit far up, so she knows where she's going, which means that you sacrifice a bit the aerodynamics for some visibility, so you know where you're going, basically.
Yeah. But I guess on a track that is so difficult to be consistent on, I guess that's just a gamble, isn't it? To maybe lose a bit of top end speed.
And you know, Raluca has so much experience, so she knows what works for her, and you know, if that's the way that she wants to slide, then I'm sure that she has some good points on why she does that.
Well, Stramaturaru and Manolescu almost a second ahead at that split point, and with that dragon's tail looking very, very tidy, crossing the finish line, surely more than a second ahead. 1.27 seconds ahead of Stetskiv Mokh. That is Raluca Stramaturaru and Egle Manolescu of Romania into first place.
Yeah, she did a great job. That was a very good run, very solid looking run.
Yeah, that top section was really nice.
Yeah.
And Dragon's Tail, as good as some of the singles athletes we saw earlier. That has been an incredible season for these two, I feel, because they're quite fresh to this just over the last couple of years, and they look like they've always been there. So, our third athletes and probable favorites for this race, Selina Egle and Lara Kipp of Austria, the current World Cup leaders in the doubles. They have won every race except 2 this season. Start record from Kipp, Egle Kipp, and looking incredibly smooth through these top curves now.
Yeah, so far so good. They have a very good line so far, and already 2300s ahead.
Wow, they are multiplying and multiplying speed all the way down the track. This next split, if it's anything to go by, should be close to half a second.
Wow. They're flying.
Yeah, just carrying speed, no small mistakes at this point. Beautiful entrance to Kreisel, and a lovely flat line through the middle.
Yeah, I just love the way these guys slide. you know, they're so confident on the sled. You could say barely see them move on the sled, which
looks
is
like a single
yes,
sled.
yes. Oh, some problems though.
Dropping the feet, but managing to make the best of a bad situation. Egle and Kipp, I think they've done enough. Crossing the finish line into the lead by 1.8 seconds. That's Selina Egle and Lara Kipp. Wow, that's putting down a marker.
Yeah. I mean, they had a very good run at top. Just some small mistakes out of 13. I'm not sure what happened. Yeah, just too far to the left side, then they scratched the wall, and then that. Yeah, the sled goes a bit sideways, but you know, they did a phenomenal job at getting it right back on track, and I don't think they lost too much time here.
Doesn't look like it. I mean, that was we were saying in singles with Alex earlier that the punishment doesn't seem to fit the crime when you come out of 13 and you just clip that left wall, and it seems like everything goes out of the window and it's chaos very quickly.
Yeah, totally.
A very, very difficult track to be consistent on, which makes it such a dramatic track to have the EBERSPÄCHER Luge World Cup finals on, as Italy's Andrea Voetter and Marion Oberhofer come to the start. Voetter and Oberhofer at the moment sitting 4th in the world standings. Mathematically, they cannot come up to 3rd, but they do need to keep their standing because the battle for their 4th place is fierce, with 3 or 4 teams that could take it from them. Just hanging on a bit there. Yeah,
that was an interesting line in corner 3. They just came up a bit at the end, so it's not ideal, and you can see them already lose a bit of time here.
So these mistakes in the top there, they're huge.
Yeah.
They don't look like much.
They don't look like much, but you lose so much time because it's so flat and you don't have a lot of speed. And that's actually where you need to be spot on perfect, because you need to build momentum to you know, carry the speed down the track.
Yeah, and I think if someone was watching Luge for the first time and you maybe showed them a skid in the start curve and a total mess down the Dragon's tail, tell them that the skid in the start curve actually costs more.
Yeah, the mistakes in the low speed section just cost more than, you know, at the high speed section where you have a lot of momentum already going.
Voetter and Oberhofer into 2nd place, 7/10 of a second back. But apart from those little mistakes at the top, pretty solid.
Pretty solid, I would say too, yeah. I'm not sure where they lost the 7/10. Known for a very strong start, those two.
Smooth as well.
Yeah, very nice settle. Just struggling a bit to find the speed this season that they've been known for the last couple of years.
And is that testing systems maybe coming up to? I mean, I know we're on a standardized sled, but
yeah, exactly, yeah. You basically have to, like every women double has the same sled. The only thing you can change is the steels, basically. I'm not sure if they tried some new steels or if they changed something for this season. But yeah, they've been better last year, speed-wise.
Okay, so that was Voetter and Oberhofer of Italy. Now we have Latvia's and Upite and Kaluma. It's currently sitting in 5th in the world standings, but could make a run for the 4th place spot. Currently occupied by Voetter and Oberhofer.
Maybe a bit late into corner 1. Let's see how she handles it. Yeah, absolutely no problem. It doesn't seem like the corner 1-2 is as big of a challenge for the lady doubles right now. Oh, that was a skid, and that will cost them a lot of time.
It's quite flat up there, isn't it?
Yeah. It's very flat here. You need to be spot on perfect, otherwise you're gonna lose so much time. And you know, with the ice conditions, you know, the ice is so hard. Every little steer that you do can lead to a skid if you don't have enough edge on the sled. So I think that was what happened for them.
Yeah, I think with this hard ice as well, the little skids are becoming big mistakes.
Yes,
it's so tough to get the sled back.
Exactly. Yeah. Feels like the sled has its own wheel. Times.
I think that's Luge, isn't it?
Yeah.
We pretend we're in control. Okay, Dragon's Tail, a little bit messy there from Upite Kaluma. 120 kilometers now, crossing the finish line into 3rd place. Upite Kaluma of Latvia. So lots to work on there, but
yeah, she was not too happy, as you can see, shake the head. at the start. It was still all right, but you had a little skid going into corner 4, and then also some issues out of curve 13. Just scratched the wall, dropped her feet a bit. It didn't cost them too much, but you know, you're not what she was hoping for, definitely.
Yeah, keeping the position though during that mistake down the Dragon's Tail.
It's so scary there. Because it's so easy to flip there. There's so much, you know, how do you say that? So much
chicane.
Yeah,
chicane,
so much chicane that you can drive on, and that makes you flip so easily.
So USA now to the start, and this is Siobhan Forgan and Sophia Kirkby, who are guaranteed to finish this season 3rd in the World Cup standings. Which another crystal globe to go back to Lake Placid is great for their program, isn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, they've been having a great season. They took home the win in Lillehammer, which was awesome to see. They've been known for a very fast start as well, and overall they just sped up a lot for this season compared to what they were doing last season.
And there's that fast start you were talking about, a start record for Forgan and Kirkby, and it must be said that both of these athletes got that horrible sickness that's been going around the athletes' village all week. And skid in the top there, that is going to cost Forgan and Kirkby. But they've been very unwell, and it's just a triumph for them to be on the start this
Yes,
year.
exactly. A lot of people have been dealing with disease that has been going around in the circuit, and they've been one of them. So it's good to see them back on the sled. It's good to see them being back in business and healthy.
Because they missed a few training sessions.
They missed a few training sessions, and you need a lot of runs here in this track to figure it out.
13 to the Dragon's Tail, beautifully navigated by the USA pairing.
Awesome job.
Crossing the finish line into 4th place. That's Forgan Kirkby of the USA, back by 0.8 of a second. But to me, that looks very, very tight between 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah. And here we can see them having a big skid going into 6, so they definitely lost some time there. Other than that, that was a clean run, but you know, they have, with that mistake, they have a lot of time in the run.
So looking towards improving on that for the second run and climbing up the rankings. Siobhan Forgan, Sophia Kirkby. Sophia Kirkby selling mugs and ceramics that she makes herself to fund her Olympic journey, which shows incredible initiative, and you can find out about those on her social media channels at some point. So, back to the start. Germany. This is Jessica Degenhart and Cheyenne Rosenthal. Last week's winners have a mathematical chance of taking the whole thing, but it would mean that Egle and Kipp would need a disaster. And obviously we don't want that to happen to anyone. So Jessica Degenhart and Cheyenne Rosenthal, I think, peaking at a really good time going into the Olympic season.
Oh, yeah.
That looks like the best 2-3 combination we've seen so far from Degenhart and Rosenthal, and a start record.
Big start record, big start record. That's a very good start time.
Stretching out through the top curves, trying to minimize any friction through these flat top curves. As they go out of 6 into that big compression. What does that feel like, though?
It feels very good, to be honest. Feels very, very good.
It's such a dramatic curve how it just drops away like that.
It's like a slingshot that you get out, and then you lose a lot of weight once you go over the bump. Oh!
That is going to cost Degenhart Rosenthal, skidding into 13.
Big problems.
Oh, and this minus 9.9 degree ice, just so hard, so difficult to keep control when you make a mistake, as Degenhart Rosenthal cross into 5th position. Very different to their performance last week in Pyeongchang, but Degenhart Rosenthal having a few problems there.
Yeah, that's exactly what we were talking about. Once it starts going with that ice, it's very hard to get the sled back under control, and they just hit out of Kreisel and then hit the left ball going into goal 12, and that's actually a very, very scary thing to do, because the Chinese girls did that in the preseason and got, you know, they
very nasty injuries.
Yeah, nasty injuries. And also here out of 13, she did a great job because with that entrance, you know, a lot of things can happen.
So not optimal, that run for Degenhart Rosenthal, but one more run to go, obviously, as we come to our final sled of this first run. This is Adi Juliginati and Jiajing Zhao of China. Now, this is their first race back after that. You were alluding to that horrible crash they had last year, or at the beginning of the season.
Beginning of the season, yeah, we were missing them for basically all of the season. So it's very good to see them back on the sled, up and running.
And what a great feeling to be racing in front of a home crowd.
It must be very nice, yeah. I can't tell you what it feels like right now, but I hope I can soon.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be an incredible part of your life in the next year.
Yeah.
So looking good here, making it look like a home track, bleeding a bit of time, but the lines are pretty clean.
Yeah, for them it's just important to have clean lines, gain some experience on the World Cup circuit, gain some racing experience, which is very important as an athlete, because training and races, that's a completely different thing. It does a lot with your mind.
Very much so, and I'm sure if you've had an accident like they did in 12, they safely negotiate it, but if you've had that, that must be in the back of your mind.
Oh yeah, definitely. You will always have that.
Round the Dragon's Tail, drive it beautifully, 118 kilometers now, crossing the finish line. Team China, Julian Zhao into 6th place for Team China. They can be incredibly happy with that. Big hit up the finish, hope they're both okay. But that is our first run complete for this women's doubles. Like we were saying, the home crowd here, there were flags flying and noisemakers and what have you. It must be so great for these athletes.
Yeah, I was wondering if it is family members or friends or just people from the town. But it was very nice to see somebody come out here, watch us race, especially because here it's 10 o'clock at night and people are still out here watching Luge, which is just for us athletes. It's very much appreciated.
Yeah, it's cold out there, so thank you for sticking around if you're out there watching today. Well, that concludes the first run, and some big drama, but some not unexpected news of Egle and Kipp in first place, Voetter and Oberhofer in second, and Upite and Kaluma currently sitting in bronze medal position. But look how close that is between the 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
It's incredibly close racing, and it's going to make this second run something really special.
Yes, something really special, and both the Latvians and the Americans had problems in the first run, so if they are able to clean it up for the second run, we will see some tight racing for the second and third spot here on the podium.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to be back in a short while. Coming up at 2300 local time, we've got the second run of the doubles. Leon Felder is going to be joining me in the booth. We'll see you then.